A couple of announcements on the front end. You know, we've been monitoring Savon Huggins' progress, and he's not going to return this year, so he'll be a medical redshirt for this season. And we've moved Josh Hicks to safety to work him in the secondary for this week. And I think what we'll do is we'll evaluate it at the end of the week and see how we feel about it. But you know, just based on the overall health of that position group and the depth of the running back position group, we think it's a good time to invest some reps in a very talented player who's already playing for us on special teams and see if he can add something to us on defense. Questions?
Did Hicks play safety in high school?
He did. He played defensive back in high school. I think what you also find these days is they play on so many 7-on-7 teams. It's hard to find a skill kid who doesn't have some experience on defense in the back end because of those teams.
How was he receptive to the move? Or?
Yes, it was something I brought him in to talk to him about yesterday, and you know, much like Justin, he said something very similar, that he really he wanted to get on the field and help the football team as many reps as he could in the games, and I felt good about that the entire time. It was it was a topic actually that came up during the recruiting process with his high school coach because Dave Marino really felt like Josh was an extremely talented running back, but also thought he'd be a talented defensive back too, and he had mentioned it to me at one point. And I always kept it in the back of my mind. I love Josh as a tailback, but right now we just have more of a need over there. So, you know, he's a talented guy. I think he can help us.
Is he going to work in free safety, strong, a little both?
I think right now it'll probably be more free than strong. I think that's where our depth issues are.
How do you look first day?
I'll look at it on film. I didn't spend the whole day just watching him. I know he got a lot of attention from Coach Rossi, that's for sure. And we'll look at it on film.
Now with Robert Martin, I know they were split in time. I mean, I guess this give him more of an opportunity?
It certainly does. He's going to get more reps because of it, that's for sure. And I think it puts a little bit more on Robert because now, you know, if there is a reason to play a third back, we know who the third back is going to be. It won't be a running back by committee back there. You know, he'll be the next guy in the game.
With Savon shut down now and PJ obviously shut down too, how much does it help the younger guys just to have those two in the meeting rooms pretty much at all times?
Yeah, it's helped the entire year. I think Savon has done a phenomenal job of mentoring these two young running backs, and now it'll be one that's left in there, and PJ has added to that since his injury. It's always good to have somebody to speak to who's been in your shoes, who's had to play as a freshman, and has been through that process because it's a complicated thing to play a lot of football as a true freshman.
I know it's a long way off, but would the expectation be that Huggins would be back here next year?
Yes. Yeah, my expectation is that he'll be back here next year.
Kyle, for a young offensive lineman, how important is it for them to have their bodies molded before they can start to see time on the field, if you know what I mean? Like,
it's a combination of necessity and what you would love to be the case. You know, you'd love to bring every offensive lineman in the program into your program, redshirt them for a year, get them some experience playing the second year, and then let them start for 3 years. That to me is the blueprint for really doing it the right way. Now, some guys from a talent perspective, like Anthony Davis, Jeremy Zuta, they get themselves into the lineup because they're just so talented. You have to find a way to get them in there because you feel like they'll make you better. At other times, younger guys may play out of necessity. Would I love to have the opportunity to have them work with Coach Cole for 2 years? I would love it. It's not always what you're able to do.
At the midway point, have you seen all the true freshmen who are going to play, or are you still evaluating that this week?
I don't anticipate anybody playing who has not played, but I would reserve the right to change that because you have a couple guys to turn ankles in one game, and all of a sudden now you need somebody to play, and everybody in the program right now is focused on being 1-0 in our next game, and that's our priority, and that's the most important thing.
Todd, does the bye week give you an opportunity to get a longer look at some of these third and fourth team guys, and is that something you plan to do all week?
It does. Yeah, we did. You saw some stuff at the end of practice today with the younger group, and it's a great opportunity for us. You know, our goals. I set the goals Saturday night. They haven't changed. Our goals are to get healthier for every position group on the team, to get a little bit better at one very specific thing that we discussed this morning as a staff, and then with the players, and then to make sure that our academics are in order as we go towards the rest of the semester, because this is a very academically intensive part of the semester for us. The other nice part of doing that is when the varsity, for lack of a better term, comes out and practices, we send them in to lift afterwards. Now we as a coaching staff have some time to spend with the guys that aren't playing or aren't playing a lot, because there were a couple guys out there that are helping us on special teams. They got to run probably about 18 to 20 plays today, and we're going to do that Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday as well, and maybe scrimmage a little bit on Thursday. And it's a great opportunity to kind of check where they're at this point, and also to improve them. Because I said to that group, there's going to be somebody in that group that's going to help us win a football game this year. I just don't know who it is yet, but this week will help us determine it a little bit.
Go ahead.
How do you manage the QB reps this week? Do you give Chris a few more and give Gary some rest, or do you do anything differently in that?
We're not practicing enough to worry about the rest part of it. I think, we've had a couple days off. We're going to go Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Then they'll have Friday, Saturday off, and we'll come back Sunday. So I think from a rest perspective, they're in pretty good shape. I think just by virtue of the way we're going to practice, I don't know that Gary will get less, but Chris will get more. We'll run a few more team plays this week to make sure he gets a little more work.
From a run game perspective, do you need to be more productive against Big Ten competition?
The answer is yes, but I think the other side of that answer, and this is something Ralph has talked about, we're always going to take what the defense gives us. When we go out there and throw for over 400 yards, there's a reason why. There's a lot of one-on-ones to be had out there because of the way they play the run, and they're very good on defense. And to their credit, they're very good against the run. But the reason they're very good against the run is because they've got a lot of people up there to stop the run. So do I want to be more productive in the run game? I absolutely do. But do I always want to take advantage offensively of what the defense is giving us? I do, and I think we've got the weapons to do it.
Time for two more.
Kel, are you still kind of feeling the buzz from that win over Michigan? I mean, obviously some things have happened in recruiting since then and just going out on the road.
I think the effects of it with recruiting, certainly we're feeling that. But in terms of the excitement from Saturday night, we've moved on. And I've moved on, the players have moved on, the coaches have moved on, because like I said earlier in the year, when you're coming off disappointment, whether you're coming off success or disappointment, you have to put your eyes forward. So, we certainly weren't perfect in that game. We've made the corrections. We'll continue to make the corrections as we go through the week. But our eyes are moving forward. We're evaluating ourselves a little bit this week as we start the game plan for Ohio State. And then on Sunday, we'll turn our sights full-time to Ohio State, because it's a one-game season, and we don't get to carry any of the positive energy from that game over to the next. If we want momentum in the next game, we got to create it. Thank you, guys.